Hello and welcome back to the PokerNews Weekly News Report. I'm Andy the Anchor and I'm here to take you through what has been happening in the poker world this last week. Our top stories this week: Rick Salomon being unsuccessful in recovering an alleged $2.8 million in poker debt, Phil Galfond issues a high-stakes heads-up challenge to the poker community, and finally, popular poker group the Thirstlounge 10 launch a new video series called The Coin Flip Trip. This is the PokerNews Weekly News Report with your host, Andy the Anchor. Back in 2015, Rick Salomon's ex-wife, Pamela Anderson, claimed that he won $40 million playing throughout 2014. Those claims were scoffed at by many, but if the latest news coming out of a French court is any indication, Salomon has indeed won some rather large sums in private poker games. Unfortunately for him, he will not be seeing any of the $2.8 million that he alleges is owed to him from one particular game. According to British outlet The Times, Salomon participated in a game for extremely high stakes in 2014 at Tiara Miramar Beach, a hotel just outside of Cannes on the French Riviera. One of the participants in this game was a man by the name of Rad Al-Khariji. According to Salomon's account, Al-Khariji made a huge loss during the course of a marathon game lasting around 48 hours. Some of this loss was put on credit, and having racked up a $2.8 million debt to Salomon, Al-Khariji advised Salomon that his US-based lawyer would be in touch to settle the sum. When push came to shove, Al-Khariji claimed that there was no high-stakes poker game at all. In fact, he stated that the game was merely for fun and played for no stakes whatsoever. In response, Salomon took his claim to the French court system, and Salomon's lawyer pointed to a law passed in 1804 stating that gambling debts are enforceable in games involving weapons, foot or horse racing, chariot races, tennis, and other games of the sort which involve physical skill and exercise. As the session had lasted 48 hours, the lawyer argued that the requirement was met due to the endurance and energy needed to play through it. On Monday evening, word leaked out from the court where the judge was not convinced and the verdict came down against Salomon. Al-Khariji's lawyer said that the ruling was consistent with French law. He said, "Even supposing there was such a debt, which my client totally contests, you cannot pursue someone in France for a gambling debt." What do you think? Should Salomon be paid his $2.8 million? Was there even a $2.8 million debt in the first place? Let us know in the comments below. Phil Galfond, owner of Run It Once Poker, has issued a challenge to play high-stakes heads-up pot limit Omaha or no limit Hold'em on his new poker site. Rather than have me give you the details, we've managed to get hold of the man himself who is going to give you the lowdown. Take it away, Phil. Phil? Are you there? Phil? Can you hear me? Apologies about this. We appear to be having some technical difficulties. Phil?
Thanks, Andy. So my heads-up challenge is actually two challenges in one, I guess. I made a post a couple weeks ago now on runitonceu, which you can find at runitonceu/news and search for the post. But basically, the first part of my two-part challenge is an open challenge. Anybody can take it. That is, anybody who qualifies. It's to people who make training videos on sites other than runitoncE.com, and they can play me 50,000 hands of heads-up PLO, 100, 200, or higher, preferably. Might be negotiable to go lower, and they get 3-to-1 odds on a side bet of 10 buy-ins. So, for example, if we played 200, 400, then my 10 buy-in side bet would be 400,000, or rather, their side would be 400,000. Mine would be 1.2 million. In addition to that, because I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't get many takers. It's a very small pool of people who play high-stakes PLO and make videos, and a challenge of 50,000 hands is quite a lot to ask of somebody. So I in the second part, asked other people to send me challenges, and it can really be whatever they want. Again, preferably 100, 200 to 300, 600, preferably PLO, but I'm open. And the offers are flowing in. I haven't announced any details yet because I don't have very much locked in yet, but more details to come, and it's going to be fun. Back to you, Andy.
Thank you, Phil. So there you have it. If you think you have what it takes to defeat Mr. Galfond in high-stakes heads-up PLO or no-limit hold'em, then head over to runitonce.eu, where you'll find all of the details and a way to throw down your gauntlet. I'd get to it though, as within 24 hours of issuing the challenge, there were 11 people that stepped up to the plate. And finally, to round up the news this week, we have the Thirstlounge 10 launching a new video series called the Coin Flip Trip. Some of you may be unfamiliar with the Thirstlounge 10, so let me fill you in. The group are led by multi-millionaire and a frequent player in the high-stakes games, Bill Perkins. A couple of years ago, Perkins had been streaming some high-stakes cash games over on Twitch from his luxurious yacht in the Virgin Islands. Due to his extremely busy schedule, he decided that he no longer had the time to keep the Thirstlounge channel going, so instead, he ran a competition to find 10 players who would form the Thirstlounge 10 and keep his channel alive. These 10 players came from all different backgrounds within poker. Some are reality stars turned poker players, and now some are poker players turned reality stars. Each player was given a $20,000 starting bankroll, and any profits at the end of a 12-month period will be split 50-50. Over the year, some of the members of the group have been living in a villa in the Virgin Islands, and between them they have kept the channel thriving and developed an amazing supportive community. They have been pioneers in the poker world by coming up with unique ideas, and this new one called the Coin Flip Trip is no different. Rather than try and explain this idea myself, I've enlisted the help of one of the participants on this show. Adam Klein, who back in 2014 won the American reality TV show Survivor, has been kind enough to explain exactly what this coin flip trip is all about. Take it away, Adam.
Thanks, Andy. Bill Perkins came to me and my co-host Matthew Forsyth as part of the Thirstlounge to offer us the adventure of a lifetime. We went around the world for 6 weeks visiting 5 countries. We went to Peru, Switzerland, Italy, India, and Japan. All expenses paid. The only catch is that we would flip a coin in every city that we went to. Flip well, and we get $500 a day each to do whatever we wanted. That is a ton of money in Peru and in India. We can live like kings there, but if we flip low, we only have $25 a day. So in Switzerland, in Japan, that is not going to get us very far. What was born was the coin flip trip, and it was the adventure of a lifetime. I am so excited about what we filmed, and the episodes are about to start coming out. December 5th is our premiere. We got up to some incredible adventures. Somehow we survived Zurich on $25 a day. I got this genuine leather jacket in Italy, and we had an incredible time. We crashed an Indian wedding, snuck into a soccer match, and somehow made it work in Tokyo, Japan. On 500 or 25? You'll have to wait to find out. Thanks, Andy. Back to you.
Thank you, Adam. If you want to watch this series, then be sure to check out and subscribe to the Thirstlounge YouTube channel. Now it's time for our weekly Poker Tip of the Week. This week's guest is none other than popular YouTube vlogger Johnnie Vibes. Vibes has over 30,000 subscribers on YouTube and produces fantastic poker content, mainly based around his shenanigans in the live cash games. Take it away, Johnnie.
Thanks, Andy. Today's poker tip is about confidence, something that we all need at the poker table. And it's inspired by my sister-in-law, Christy Arnett, who recently final tabled the WSOP circuit event in Aruba. She ultimately took second place, but one thing that she did at the final table that caused quite a ruckus on her Instagram, she posted this picture of her sitting with a really wide stance. And there's some science behind this. When you take up more space in life at the poker table, sit up straight, you are naturally going to have a little bit more confidence about yourself. You're going to improve blood flow. You're going to feel better. People are going to notice that you're taking up space, and they're going to recognize the confidence that you have. Just think about it in practice. The next time you see someone hunched over, breathing as if they're frustrated, body language is everything in poker. And in an age of poker where the strategy is out there, the edges are super small, we have to do things with our mindset to help us at the poker table. Body language, power posing can definitely be something that will improve your confidence and separate you from the other players at the table. Back to you, Andy.
Thank you, Johnny. Johnny is currently traveling the world with his wife Olga and playing in various casinos and card rooms along the way, whilst documenting it all for his vlog. Do check out Johnny's YouTube channel if you haven't already, which I will link in the description below. And that's all we have time for on the PokerNews Weekly News Roundup. But be sure to join me, Andy the Anchor, next week for some more poker news. Ta-ta for now.